Hey friends, it's Jackeline here. In today's video, we're gonna do another Sephora type of content, but I think this is a very important one. Very, very important. The first one that I did, it was basically all my OGs, those products that I have tried and true that they sell at Sephora that are amazing. It's kind of like you should really watch it. It's a Sephora must-have, but it's truly an OG guide. That's what it is. It's just like so much thought into it, so many hours working on it. I'm like, honestly, I think it was between filming, editing, the whole thing, creating the description box and whatnot. It was like 6-hour job or even more. But today, I'm going to be focusing about the newest, the best makeup of 2022 that you can find at Sephora now. This coming April 1st, start the Sephora Spring Savings event. For those who are Rouge members, you get to shop with 20% off. While if you are a VIV, you get 15% off starting on April 5th. And then those who are insiders, you get 10% off starting on April 7th. The sale runs all the way through the 11th for every single tier. I'm talking about every single tier. And for all the Sephora collection throughout the entire sale, from the 1st to the 11th, regardless of your tier, you get 30% off, again, on all Sephora collection. Also, very important, if you're shopping online, be reminded that you can actually shop through your app, pick up in a store. So if that's easier for you and you don't want to do anything with shipping and whatnot, you can do that too, all through your app, and make sure that when you're checking out, you use the code SAVESPRING. I will be leaving all the details, all the links, absolutely everything will be on the description box below for your convenience. And thank you so much to all of you that decide to shop through my links, because that's the way that you support my channel and it doesn't cost you anything. It's not that, you will get charged more or anything like that. It doesn't have to do anything of that. So again, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for those who shop through my link. If you don't, doesn't matter. I hope honestly that these type of videos serve you, not only we're talking about Sephora, but in general, and I think most important when we're talking about new products. And all these new products, my friends, I try the latest and the greatest, and I have tried these products, most of them for over a month. Let's start right away with primers. 2 primers that you can actually find at Sephora is the new Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer, and that primer is amazing. If you have enlarged pores, it's a primer that I'm using right now around this area right here. It's a soft matte primer. It's gonna mattify, but I do have dry skin, and I find it that it doesn't mattify to the point that I feel like, oh my gosh, it's making my skin looking dry. Total opposite. I feel it's, in fact, very natural. It really helps with the oil production, and I feel like it's catering many skin types. For those of us that we have dry skin and we are aging and we have enlarged pores, we have fine lines, and it really helps. And as the spring and summer is coming, guess what? We all can break a sweat, that's normal, and I think this is a very beautiful primer. Another primer that I have really enjoyed, that is more like the name says it, Airbrush, a little bit more of like an even canvas, is the Vanish Airbrush Primer by Hourglass. This is a great primer too. This is just gonna give you more than controlling oils or mattify or even make your pores look a little bit smaller. It will just give you a very smooth canvas to work on. It really helps with the longevity of your makeup too. I think it's a great primer. Again, Airbrush, the name says it all. Now going into foundations. Out of all the foundations that I have tried that they are carried again at Sephora, I want to repeat these once again because there's a lot of other products that I truly love, but they are not carried at Sephora, unfortunately. But that's aside the point. There's, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's start for the lightest one. The first one is the Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. This is a serum, it's not really a foundation, and I was, one of the first ones, I think, at least in YouTube, that review this product. And I mentioned it that it's a very close dupe to the Chanel Water Tint. This one right here, not only because the way it looks, but the way that it sits on the skin. And I shouldn't really say sits on the skin, but it actually meshes on the skin. and it's just so thin. The main difference between the Rose Ink and the Chanel one to me is that the Rose Ink does have more skincare ingredients. Chanel does, but the one from Rose Ink, it does have also esqualane, and therefore I will say apply a thin layer, not because it will become too oily, but you can see that moisturizing property that you will not see much with Chanel. Chanel, it will be more of like hydrating, while this one right here is more moisturizing without being thick. Super thin. If you are more into, I want something very lightweight, I don't want to fuss about a foundation, I think this is an amazing product because it does have a great amount of skincare ingredients. It looks beautiful on the skin and it comes in several different shades. Now let's go really quick to the Dior Forever Skin Glow. This is not a new foundation from Dior, but it's a reformulation from Dior. And I have here the Skin Glow one and I also have the matte one. Both of them are perfectly fine. They are beautiful. I actually, when I review this reformulation, I compare it side by side with the previous formulation of this same Forever Skin Glow foundation, and actually this one looks even better. It makes my skin very nice. It's glowy, but not in terms of dewy, but actually very healthy, not too thin, very beautiful. It lasted, oh, wonderful for hours and hours and hours, and it didn't break. I mean, like, it looks amazing. Honestly, love the Skin Glow for like every day if you have dry skin. If you have dry skin and you want to use the matte, you will love it too, mostly if it's for special occasions, because it just looks flawless. I mean, totally flawless. The only thing is both of them, they have an SPF 15. So I will say, if you're going for a photo shoot, like, or you're going to be photographed in general, I will say perhaps this is not the foundation for you. Going for another great foundation is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Now, this one right here has a little bit of a thicker consistency than, say, Skin Glow. It does have, to me, more of like a medium to almost full coverage. So it is kind of like a hybrid between the Airbrush foundation from also Charlotte Tilbury and the Magic one, where you have that kind of like radiant look with a little bit of that, extra coverage, but in not a super lightweight, but in a very comfortable way. It's an exquisite foundation. It lasts for a good amount of time, and I think it will cater for many skin types. Now, going to one of my favorite foundations at the moment is the KOSAS the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. Now, this foundation has a ton of great ingredients too, like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, it has peptides, it does have esqualane, vitamin B5, arnica, caffeine. It's packed full. It comes in so many different shades. It's so inclusive. I have to say though, Dior is very inclusive. Charlotte Tilbury is very inclusive too. Rose Ink, for being a tinted serum, is very inclusive too. So you are, pretty much you're gonna find hopefully a shade match for you. But this foundation in specific is very interesting because it's dense. Listen to me, it's not heavy, it's just dense, but it leaves your skin looking perfected. Your canvas is gonna look so even, and it's just very natural. Different than the Charlotte Tilbury one or the Dior Forever Skin Glow, it's not gonna be that dewy foundation. It will just give the most subtle, beautiful, natural radiance to the skin. Truly spectacular. And even though I said that this foundation to me is dense, it's not heavy, therefore you don't feel it on the skin, and it does have a good longevity. I will say it will start wearing off a little bit between the 7-8 hour mark, which for a full day of work, I think it's pretty much fine, considering that it has so many skincare ingredients. It's not like extra super long wearing, but it does have a beautiful way to wear without actually creasing or gathering on fine lines and whatnot. Okay, let's move on right here to, I cannot find the concealer again. It had happened to me twice. What's going on? Did I put it in with my brushes? Oh my gosh, I cannot find it. Okay, the LYS concealer. It's a super thin concealer. Now, I have to use it with a color corrector because I do have very dark under eye circles. But this concealer is thin, not heavy. So if you have fine lines like me and you want more of like a medium coverage, I will not say a full coverage, but more of like a medium coverage, you're gonna really like this concealer. It wears throughout the day in a very lovely way. If you have dark under eye circles, you're gonna need definitely, a color corrector. That doesn't bother me, I'm used to it, but it's something that you may want to consider. If not, this concealer right here from LYS, I think it caters for so many different skin, like different ages. Like someone that is very young can use it because it's so thin, all the way to somebody that has, aging skin and that really needs something very thin that it doesn't gather on the fine lines. It's a beautiful concealer, and the shade range, it's wonderful. It's spectacular. I think they did an amazing job with the shade range right there. I wish though that they can come with a color corrector too in that formulation, because again, it's exactly like what I feel I need most of the time, is something that is not super thick, that will give me that extra coverage and that it will last so well. Love the LYS concealer. Now, going into eyeshadow palettes, you have to try the new formulation of Tom Ford, the Creme formula. These right here, there are 3 total. One of them is Tiger Eye, perhaps one of my favorites in my entire collection. If you want that golden goddess kind of like J-Lo vibe kind of look with a little bit of a peachy tone, you're gonna love this quad right here. Super easy to use. There's not really like a matte shade. They all have a little bit either of like a satin finish, or they have that glistening effect. If you like the Charlotte Tilbury kind of formulation, her eye quads, you're gonna love this formula in terms of like how is the end up look, but also how like forgiving it is on texture, fine lines. If you have hooded eyes, the way that it wears, the longevity and the shades, they look a little bit similar when you're seeing them, but when you try them, wow, these right here, look at that taupey shade. It looks wet. This is Rose Topaz. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I think this is, after the wet and dry formula, this is perhaps the best formulation from Tom Ford. Like super pretty. Look at that shine right there. So soft, so smooth, just so yummy and beautiful, and classic. This is classic looks. This is something that you're not going to just use right now, but that you are going to be able to use throughout the entire year. And there's a third palette that I don't remember the name. It's a smoky something. Smoky topaz, smoky rose, same formulation. Again, I will be leaving it on the description box below. That is all matte shades. I heard the best thing about it, and most likely I will end up picking it up. Going into another eyeshadow palette, the one that I'm using today is none other than Natasha Denona and her pastel palette. One thing that I love is that she brought pastels, which are a lot easier to use and adventure than, say, love the Circo Loco palette. But if you're not used to colors, pastels are something that can really get you into that step without really compromising, like, oh, this is too bold for me, this is just not me at all. And honestly, I pretty much have like this eyeshadow right here, which is that Pantone color of the year, and I will be creating this makeup look on a separate video so you can really see how I created this, the entire makeup look, but the eyeshadow look too. But I think these pastels are so well done because they are not chalky. They have really good pigment. I think the most important thing on pastels is the opacity. Sometimes we confuse a little bit and we go like, oh, I don't like pastels because they don't, you cannot build up the shade. And I think there's a compromise right there. It's like, one thing is that they have opacity, so that way they go even on the eyelids with the same color. There's no translucency, and that's exactly what you get with this pastel palette from Natasha Denona. But it's not about building up, because building up if you want more intensity, then this is not for you. But I think this is an amazing palette if you want to jump into spring, summertime, and you don't need to use a ton of colors. I know that promo pictures, the marketing material really shows, these, very colorful, which, right now the trend is all about that series Euphoria, and then festivals are coming and all of that. But you don't need to like put all those shades on your, eyelids. When I reviewed this video, I created 3 what I think wearable eye looks. This will be my 4th one right here. And you can just use one eyeshadow. You don't need to use all of these right here. But overall, I think it's a great, great palette. And another thing that I love too is that it's on the midi size, which is perfect. I don't need like the big size one, not only because the price, this is one of the most economic size palettes from Natasha Denona, but also because how much eyeshadow I'm gonna use. And if I want to go with pastels, I will say give it a try to this one. Not only you have beautiful matte shades, but you have beautiful metallic shades. You have multi-chromes right here that they just look stunning, amazing. Love, just absolutely love this palette, the versatility, the fun that you can have about it. And to me, what I feel like, I don't feel so wasteful, getting a palette that is not too big, but that it give me enough colors to just play around and like change the season. It is the springtime, why not? And then from Patrick Ta, he launched last year a holiday palette with 3 stunning shades, and this year, like I said on my videos, I know he's a very smart businessman. He will bring it in singles, and voila, he did it. He brought it in singles. In addition, he added to his collection another duo shade in She's Blushing. And definitely I think this is kind of like that pillow talk shade that will give you that Victoria's Secret, angel kind of look. In fact, the powder formula right here is not matte as the other ones like She's So LA and all the rest. It actually has a little bit of a sheen to it. So I will highly suggest it if you really are wondering how it looks like, say, with She's So LA. On my review, I did it side by side. Honestly, beautiful formula. Not only that, you're getting 2 formulations in one palette. One that is cream, one that is powder. The innovation right here that you can use the cream on top of this powder without, disrupting your foundation or even that same blush, which I think is just so versatile. If you're going for something more like clean makeup look, everyday kind of look, you can just use a little bit of the cream blush and your cheeks will look so juicy and spectacular. They will just look so, so beautiful. Going into bronzer, a new bronzer, Guerlain. Guerlain is known for their bronzers, and they came out with the Terracotta Light in this very fun kind of format. And as you can tell right here, it seems like it has some shimmer, something that it will, like you will be like, oh, no, that's glitter right there. There's no glitter. It is the bronzer that I'm using today. And oh my goodness, if it's so beautiful. It comes, I think, in 5 or 6 different shades. I'm using the shade number 3. Ooh, so amazing. It gives you that really yummy bronze look for being on the sun summertime. Terracotta by Guerlain, amazing. This new formula, it's beautiful. It does have a scent gel, the typical Guerlain scent, but it dissipates. It's basically when you open it up, it's like you get that little, like, oh, it's a terracotta scent in there, but then you apply it and then it's all gone. It blends like a dream. It's so beautiful. Let's go really quick into lips. Natasha Denona came out with her I Need a Rose lipstick collection. I think that's the name of it. First time that I'm trying her lip liners, and I had been missing. These are not new, but I want to say that if you're planning to get this collection because you want something a little bit more pinky in your collection, I love Peony, but my favorite one is Kala as far as lip liner. Oh my gosh, it doesn't tag on your lips. It is somewhat long wearing. I will not say like fully batch proof, but it wears super well. And the shades are so pretty. This is Kala. This is like your everyday nude. You will not go wrong. In fact, it doesn't have so much of a pink undertone. It has a little bit of peach in it, so it's kind of like in the neutral side, which I find it to be perfect. And then her new formulation on her lipsticks, I love this formula. They are creamy but not thick that they will gather on the fine lines of the lips. Also, they do have full opacity. Like when I'm telling you full opacity is full opacity. What you see here is what you will get on your lips. So this is the shade Kala right there. One swipe, there you have it. Then Peony, which I thought it's gonna be too light, but actually it's a gorgeous pink shade. Boom, there you go. And then this other shade right here, Daphne. Pinky nude, gorgeous. Boom, there you have it. Pinky shades. Natasha Denona is giving it to you with a beautiful formulation. It's more like a satin formula that is not super, super shiny, but it's just as spectacular. Okay, let's go for another lipstick from a brand that I absolutely love, and that's Merit Beauty. Look at this packaging. Love the packaging. I think they did an outstanding job on the component, but the lipsticks, I have them in the shade Baby. It's a very interesting, different pinky nude. It's more like a cool tone with a little bit of mauve, but not being too mauve. It's just a shade that honestly I don't have in my collection. And the beautiful thing about it is like with one swipe, you get a little bit of like kind of like a sheer veil of the shade, and then you can build it up. And as you can build it up, it's not thick. There you have it. So it has that duality of being able to be sheer and be able to be built for a full intense lipstick, but without being super thick. And they are comfortable, they are hydrating. The ones from Natasha Denona are more moisturizing, while the ones from Mary, they are more what I feel a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more like soft, kind of like, I don't want to say balm because they are not like balm, but they just feel very comfortable. And then the other shade that I have is a Sleep. This is a gorgeous cool tone nude. This goes so well with so many different looks. It's just stunning. And I love the coloration of the shades too, because I think there are just 8 different shades, but all the shades are unique. They are beautiful. They have an orange tone that is gorgeous. Again, they are very unique. The price is right. It's a clean beauty brand. The packaging component is beautiful and the formulation is top notch. Ooh, and then a palette that I completely forgot, and I'm just gonna put it right here because honestly, I feel like if you are a Bridgerton fan, if you like Pat McGrath, you may want to get this palette at a discount. You know, if you are a Rouge member, you will get 20% off. This is Pat McGrath and Bridgerton, the first eyeshadow palette, or I should say face palette, because these shades right here, you can use it as blush, you can use it as highlighter. This shade right here is actually an astral shade that is spectacular. It's just so gorgeous, ethereal, beautiful, super beautiful. And the entire palette, the formulation is just incredible. This looks wet on the eyelids. It's just a transformative shade. And I know Pat McGrath, she has a ton of sales on her website, so definitely you don't need to get it from Sephora. I know this is a limited edition. I don't know obviously for how long or whatnot, but I have seen it on Sephora's website. If you're intrigued about it, I will say it's a really good palette. You know, with confidence, go for it if you like the color story. Again, knowing that Pat McGrath has a lot of sales, but if you don't want to miss out, I mean, this is up to you, but I just want to give it, you know, a little bit of a mention right here. Okay, now let's move on right here to a fragrance. So if you're looking for a lovely spring fragrance that is just a little bit rosy, a little bit sweet, honestly, it just has this kind of like a macaroon powdered sugar vibe. Like imagine a rose macaroon with powdered sugar. that marzipan kind of scent. Tom Ford Rose d'Amalfi is one of the newest Tom Ford fragrances from the Rose Garden collection. There are 3 in total. Rose d'Amalfi is where it's at if you'd like a very feminine, soft scent that it just yells a spring from the roof. Then you have to go with Rose d'Amalfi. I think it's a great fragrance and I really love the longevity of it too. And then a product that I have not featured here on my channel, but I received a sample, is the new Sol de Janeiro Beige Flor Lasting Cream. So you know, my friends, I'm a lover of the Boom Boom Cream. I love that scent. And I received this small sample of the Beige Flor Lasting Cream. And I have to say, it's nice, rich in consistency, but not as rich as the Boom Boom Cream. The Boom Boom Cream is a lot thicker. This one right here feels a little bit more on that moisturizing, hydrating side, you know, like right there in the middle. And also it does have, it's supposed to boost collagen. It does have elastin in it, and it leaves your skin a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more, not like the Boom Boom Cream is more like a firming kind of, you know, body cream, while this new one is more to give that plumpiness to the skin, leaving it very, very soft. So I truly enjoy it. Now, this is the thing, I think it's going viral on TikTok. Everybody's saying like, oh, it smells like Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay, friends, you know, Baccarat Rouge 540 is not new to me. I'm like, how many years we had it? For a few years now, right? I love that fragrance. Absolutely adore that fragrance. So, so good. I mean, an epic fragrance in general. This cream, it does have a little bit of that, you know, like it has a something of the Baccarat Rouge 540. Yes, it does have. Is it like exactly the same? No, it actually reminds me a little bit more to Burberry Hair, which a lot of people find it very similar to the Baccarat Rouge 540. I think the cream is just a little bit more floral, but it does have a little bit of similarity in that way. So I think if you're looking for a really nice moisturizing cream that is not too thick, not too dense, and you want to layer either your Burberry Hair or your Baccarat Rouge 540 with this cream, it's gonna be an amazing layering cream. Honestly, I had the best luck with Sol de Janeiro on many of their products. The Boom Boom Cream is, you know, my friends, is a staple of mine. I also love the body spray too, but I think this new one is something that you may want to try. Okay, my friends, and I'm looking right here because, believe me, I do have a list. Like, okay, I'm missing something. I just want to make sure I'm touching on those products that I have tried for these 3 first months of 2022 that I know that I trust, that I know that they are going to wear really well on you, that you're going to love these products, that they are not going to be a total wah, wah, wah. I think these products are really, really good products that you can definitely, you know, give them a try with confidence. Okay, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it informative, helpful. Let me know, what are you planning to get from the Sephora sale? Do not forget, it starts this April 1st for Rouge members. All the details will be on the description box below. Links will be there. Once again, thank you so much for all your support if you're shopping through my links. But yeah, then again, I really want to know, what are you planning to get? Are you planning to get something new, or you're trying to replenish for products that perhaps you have already used entirely? Let's just continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, share it with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day.